Yo, what's good? NBA YouTube. It's your man 100 Grand Russ with The Rock Never Stops. And today we got to talk about this Toronto Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers game. If you like this video, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. But let's dig in. Yo, this was one hell of a game. This was one hell of a game from beginning to end. From beginning to end. These two teams at a potential 4-5 matchup for the playoffs were facing each other in preparation for who was going to step into this series as the supposed dominant team, who was going to have the edge. And not just the edge in terms of like record against one another, but the mental edge. The mental edge. At this point, only maybe 4 or 5 games to the end of the season, facing each other at this point, these two teams aren't adding anybody else. They're not getting any better. You are who you are. And in this game, I watched Philadelphia shoot lights out in that first half. And I said to myself, uh oh, you shot lights out and it's still a close game. The Toronto Raptors were playing without Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby. They were starting Precious Achiuwa, who played 40 minutes tonight. They were relying upon Kim Birch, Thaddeus Young, Chris Boucher, Malachi Flynn. And they actually didn't have the greatest of games. Thaddeus Young shot 2 of 10, 1 of 5 from the three-point line. Gary Trent Jr. had a big game. Scotty Barnes had a solid game. He didn't explode, but a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds. Kim Birch did his thing as well. But it's to say that Toronto didn't play this amazing game. And I'd say they played well. They played really well. I mean, Pascal Siakam had a 37-point triple-double. And that's incredible. But he shot 1 of 7 from the three-point line. Right? And so it's to say that with the Raptors not at full strength, not having their full starters at their disposal, we're still able to edge out this victory at home. Now, of course, you might be thinking to yourself, well, it's at home. You're actually supposed to play better. But at the same time, Philadelphia played as good as they can play. And Toronto didn't have their full roster of starters available to them. So it begins to make us have to consider what happens when they go into a playoff series. What happens when Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby are available? Precious Achiuwa, who ate them up tonight to the tune of 20 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block. 63% from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. What happens when he's coming off the bench, eating up your bench? What happens when OG Anunoby is the one locking you down instead of a Kim Birch? Right? First team all defense level talent. Right? These are the things that we have to begin to factor in. Shoot, Malachi Flynn even came in the game and got a 4-point play right off the bat. Right off the bat. Hit a 3 with the foul and the free throw. Immediately he made an impact in only 12 minutes. Right? Now, I'm not one to say, hey, you know what? A team that has an MVP candidate doesn't have a chance. I don't think that at all. I think they definitely have a chance. But I'm not very confident about that chance. When I watched how they played was how I believe they actually are supposed to be playing. And I'm talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. They're moving the ball around. The ball had great energy, swinging around from side to side. Tyrese Maxey was able to get a good amount of shots. I personally think he should have shot a lot more. But he was 7-11 from the field, 4 or 5 from 3. James Harden didn't take this exorbitant amount of shots. He only took 12 shots, even though he only shot 25%. Right? But at the same time, the guys who they wanted to get off got off. Joel Embiid had 30 points, 10 rebounds, got to the free throw line, shot 10 of 12. Right? This is what you want to see. This is the type of game that you want to have. I saw Shake Milton, George Niang come in immediately, hit threes, and have that immediate impact on the game. But when the playoffs start, are those guys really going to have the same impact? Are those guys really going to be able to come in and shoot lights out in the way that they did? And my guess is not likely. Danny Green shot 6 of 7 from 3, 85% from the three-point line. Tyrese Maxey, 4 of 5, 80% from the three-point line. Is he going to be able to do that again? Remember, this isn't a loss. This isn't a close loss. They shot lights out from three. And to beat the Raptors, you're going to have to shoot well from three because you're going to have to space them out. You're going to have to get them to where they have to over close out every single time because they're going to close out. This is a team that's very disciplined. And that was something that you took away from this game, that they knew exactly what their scheme was. It's what they've been doing day in, day out the whole season. They challenge every shot. They rotate. Next man to close out closes out. And each one does their job. They work independently and collectively as a whole. And when you see this type of team with that type of length and athleticism, be able to cover so much ground defensively, man, I almost felt bad for Tobias Harris. Every time he would catch the ball, swing, get into the paint, thinking that he had avoided one, he ran into the next. And the next. Joel Embiid, the same thing. This was definitely a playoff level intensity where you really began to see who was who. And now I'm looking ahead, and I'm looking at Fred VanVleet returning and his shooting, OG Anunoby returning and his shooting and scoring ability. And what I have to also say that I love to see was Toronto's system offensively. When you got four guys out on the court who can initiate offense, grab a rebound and go, push the ball ahead, make the right reads, attacking the basket, swing the ball, and be dynamic playmakers at 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", athletic, and can shoot. I mean, this is going to be a horror show for the Philadelphia 76ers to figure out how to cover. Personally, I think Toronto's going to have their number. I think it goes 6. I think Toronto takes one of the first two, and then they take care of business at home, and then they win one of the next two, and they ended in 6. But I want to know what you guys think as always. I'd love to hear your comments. What do you think about this upcoming series with the Philadelphia 76ers? What do you think about the long-term outlook for the Raptors? I'll holler at y'all next time. Peace.